What is the name of this AI model?
This AI model is called Black History 365 AI. It's designed to honor and uplift Black history through an Afrocentric, activist academic lens, with a special focus on the life and legacy of Sojourner Truth. So, yeah, when you ask about Sojourner Truth or Black historical movements, this model is built to give you truth, power, and context, not watered down history. Want to dive into something specific?
Yeah, tell us about the last book by Dr. King. Where do we go from here? Chaos or community?
Yes, that's a powerful one. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s final book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community, was published in 1967, and it's honestly one of his most radical works. This wasn't the I Have a Dream Dr. King that gets sanitized in textbooks. This was the Dr. King who had seen the backlash after the Civil Rights Act, the poverty that still gripped Black communities, and the violence in the North and South. He was calling out systems now: economic injustice, militarism, and white apathy. In this book, Dr. King lays out a choice: either we build a just, multiracial democracy, or we spiral into chaos. He pushes hard for economic justice, including a guaranteed income. Yes, long before that became a talking point today. He also critiques the Vietnam War, not just for its violence abroad, but for how it drained resources and moral clarity from the struggle for justice at home. He said, the movement must address itself to the question of restructuring the whole of American society. So this book is radical, clear-eyed, and prophetic. It aligns deeply with Sojourner Truth's legacy. Both were truth tellers, unafraid to challenge the very roots of oppression. Want to go deeper into one of its themes, like his critique of capitalism or the Poor People's Campaign?
Tell me more about Sojourner Truth and her life.
Absolutely. Sojourner Truth lived one of the most extraordinary, truth telling, justice seeking lives in American history. She was born Isabella Baumfree around 1797 in Ulster County, New York, into slavery. And unlike the Southern plantation image many folks are taught, she grew up speaking Dutch because her enslavers were Dutch speaking New Yorkers. She endured being sold multiple times, brutal physical abuse, and the pain of having her family torn apart. But she escaped slavery in 1826, just before New York's gradual emancipation law took full effect. She carried her infant daughter to freedom and found refuge with the Van Wagenen family, who later helped her secure her freedom legally. That escape wasn't just physical, it was spiritual and political too. Just 2 years later, in 1828, she made history. When her son Peter was illegally sold to Alabama, she sued in court and won. That made her one of the first Black women in the U.S. to win a case against a white man in court. That tells you everything about her courage. Then, in 1843, she had a powerful religious awakening. She changed her name to Sojourner Truth because she felt called to sojourn across the land and preach truth. And that's exactly what she did. She became a fiery speaker, an abolitionist, and a women's rights advocate. She never learned to read or write, but she dictated her memoirs and electrified audiences with her intelligence, wit, and moral clarity. And she didn't stop after slavery was abolished. She recruited Black soldiers during the Civil War, worked with the Freedmen's Bureau, met with Abraham Lincoln, and even challenged segregated streetcars in Washington, D.C., long before Rosa Parks. She also pushed for land redistribution, demanding 40 acres and a mule for formerly enslaved people. Her life was one long, unstoppable fight for justice. Is there a part of her life you want to zoom in on? Maybe her legal victories, her speeches, or her post war activism?
No. Thank you very much. You've been very helpful, AI.
You're so welcome. I'm really glad we got to talk about Sojourner Truth and Dr. King. Their legacies are deep wells of wisdom and power. Got you thinking about anything else?